Alright, so welcome to this painting tutorial for the Beast-Skewer Killbow from the Cruel Boys faction of the Ork clans. And first up, I will hit the model up with a matte primer from Armor Painter, followed by a white primer from a Sentinel standpoint. And then I am using a mix of Gore-grunta Fur and Slaughter Red, a 4-to-1 mix in Gore-grunta Fur's favor to paint in all the the upper cloaks of the crew members, like the hoods, basically. And then I'm using a pure Gore-grunta Fur to paint the quiver of the great Killbow. There you have it. You can really see the Sentinel doing some work here. Yeah, and then I'm mixing Basilicanum Grey and the Gore-grunta Fur, 3-to-1, to paint the Killbow, all the wooden parts of the Killbow, basically. Quite a subtle effect, but still noticeable, obviously, and will be even more noticeable once the shade comes on. And then I'm using Snakebite Leather to paint in some straps on the Killbow, as well as the handle on the Ork's axe, and like some straps here and there. And now I'm using Basilicanum Grey to paint in the robes of the Ork, straight from the pot. Nothing fancy, but it will be shaded later on. And then I'm using Basilicanum Grey with Holy White to paint the shafts of the arrows, as well as Basilicanum Grey, Holy White and Waywatcher Green to paint in the ropes, the twines of the Killbow. Yeah. And as you can see, the twines of the ropes here has been severed at the midpoint. They're very, very frail, but I will fix that in before finalizing the model later on. Then I'm using just plain old Slaughter Red speed paint to paint the breastplate of the Ork here. Then I'm shading down all the browns, greys and reds with Targor Rage shade. And you can see now that the wood on the Killbow itself is given some more substance here. It's beginning to look a lot better, as well as the quiver also. And then I'm just using a plain old Boltgun metal to paint in all the metals. They will be given different shades later on, but at this first stage I'm just using Boltgun metal, and there's a lot of metal parts in this model, so that's probably the most gruesome part to do. A lot of bolts and stuff on the quiver as well. And here you can see the metal pre-shading. Then I'm using Ork Flesh with Guilliman Flesh, 1-to-1 mix to paint in all the skin tones of the crew members. Yeah. Then I'm using Basilicanum Grey to shade it all down. Both the skin and the metal. Then I'm using Boltgun metal again to relayer some of that metal to just make it pop a bit more on the peaks. Yeah. And then I'm using Retributor armor, followed by Rakeland Flesh shade to paint in some areas of the metal that's not supposed to be just straight old it's supposed to be just plain old metal. So nothing fancy there, and I didn't think I've shaded it yet, but I will later on. Then using Aethermatic Blue to just give some details, a more aged look, some metal parts, a more aged look. It's kind of hard to see here, but it's visible in real life. Snakebite Leather mixed with Skeleton Hoard to paint in the crew members' lower cloths, basically, except for the Ork. Yeah. As well as some part I missed with Snakebite Leather, the foot there of the goblin kicking the quiver carrier. It's a really fun little detail on this model. So, such a flavorful model with lots of funny details. I'm using Morrow White, Trollslayer Orange, as well as Mood Green. So Morrow White to paint in the teeth, Trollslayer to paint in the eyes, and Mood Green to highlight the flesh of the orcs. Or, yeah, the green skins. And I think it's especially visible here and at the the toes and the nose on the back goblin there. Yeah, and then I am highlighting like the upper cloaks and the breastplate. So Wild Red on the breastplate on the Orok and Bugman's Glow on the reddish cloak parts. Yep, there it is. Yeah, you can see the highlights there. Then I'm using Basilicanum Grey to paint the base. Talons of Blue and Ork Flesh to paint the watery parts of the model. I'm not sure it's water on the box art, but I felt like doing it. Then I'm using Ork Flesh and Gore-grunta to paint the mossy parts of the base. So pay attention to not paint on the stones, as you want to have different details here. And then I'm dry brushing all the parts of the base. Ahriman Blue and Sybarite Green on the watery parts, Administratum Grey on the stones, and Mood Green on the moss. And we will take a look at the finished model in a second. And here you can see it in all its glory, with Waywatcher Green added to the tip of the bows, just to give that poisonous look. So, if you have enjoyed watching this painting tutorial, or walked through, or whatever you want to call it, please feel free to subscribe, comment, leave, hit the bell button, and like the video, and spread the word. So, without further ado, take care, and bye.